Chapter 6, 122, Grasping the Biggest Flaw. Translator. Chibi General Editor. Chibi General. The situation in 88. True Yang building twisted and turned with no end in sight. Once the invincible being dominating the entire world, the ruler of an era, the rank 9 immortal venerable giant son, the terrifying will that he had specially left behind to take charge of 88 True Yang building. The winner of the last Imperial Court contest, the current tribe leader of a superforce, He tribe, possessing the great strength, true martial physique of the 10 extreme physiques, Haluan. Standing tall above the center of northern plains, as countless years of change were experienced, and yet imprisoned for hundreds of thousands of years, the land spirit Frost Jade Peacock, a living legend, helping the injured for almost all his life, his benevolence and his name renowned far and wide, owning a Gu immortal inheritance, advancing to a rank 6 Gu immortal, possessing 2 mysterious immortal Gu, Tai Bai Yunxing, as well as the owner of Spring Autumn Cicada, ranked 7th amongst the top 10 mystical Gu, the owner of Hu Immortal Blessed Land, a mortal who has possession of multiple immortal Gu, a reborn 500-year-old demon, Gu Yue Fang Yuan, favored by rank 8 fortune rivaling Heaven Gu, a Gu immortal in Fang Yuan's previous life, who had successively inherited Giant Sun's inheritance and an opportunity left behind by thieving Heaven Demon Venerable, becoming a great hero of Northern Plains who resisted the invasion of Central Continent, Ma Hong Yun, viewed as an otherworldly demon by Giant Sun's will, Ma Hong Yun's wife in Fang Yuan's previous life, who became a Wisdom Path Gu immortal and provided innumerable amount of assistance to her husband, the legendary woman Zhao Lian Yun, and also the former rank 7 Gu immortal, a refinement path grandmaster, the 36th generation fairy of Spirit Affinity House Mo Yao, who had schemed against 88 True Yang building, the mysterious will she left behind following her death. All these existences had their own thoughts with their respective goals. And on this platform of the collapsing Imperial Court blessed land, they collided and contended with each other. They had their own advantages, abilities, and also had their respective weaknesses and flaws. These were all individuals overflowing with talents. They were elites or heroes of their generations. They were either proficient in scheming and strategizing, being master tacticians, or had immense strength or absurd luck. The intense stimulation of life and death, the enticement of enormous benefits, caused these existences to perform to their full strength, using all their abilities and trump cards, perhaps betting it all and risking everything in a single moment, or strategizing to control the situation. Thus, the state of affairs became clear from time to time, while turning indistinct at the next moment. They had contended till now, but the situation was still chaotic. Only Frost Jade Peacock was pulled out of the game, while the others could tilt the whole set of circumstances with their every move, and were not existences that could be underestimated in their influence to the final outcome. Now, the main part of Giant Sun's will had been forced out of 88 True Yang building for the moment by Fang Yuan's trump card, suffering the intense assaults of the heavenly tribulation and earthly calamity. Giant Sun's will was the most powerful existence among those present. On one hand, his main portion tried to return to 88 True Yang building, and on the other, he took the risk of drawing out the sub-wills from true inheritances to seize back the control of the round, and then wholeheartedly tried to eliminate the otherworldly demon, Zhao Lianyun. Ma Hongyun and Zhao Lianyun had become the masters of Imperial Court blessed land by some twist of fate. They were also being protected by the Luck Path True Inheritance and were safe for the moment. Fang Yuan and Tai Bai Yunxing had made a temporary alliance, engaging in a round of probing confrontation with He Lulan. Now, He Lulan's battle intent soared violently, and he was just about to fight Fang Yuan head-on when Giant Sun's will asked him to leave and deal with Ma Hongyun to take back the Luck Path True Inheritance. He Lulan hesitated, but chose to listen to Giant Sun's will in the end. "I will let you guys off for the moment." He glared at Fang Yuan before turning around and leaving quickly. Fang Yuan looked on as He Lulan left, floating in the sky without giving chase. Huff, huff! Tai Bai Yunsheng let out a breath of turbid air, flying towards Fang Yuan. He might be a goo immortal, but he only specialized in healing and lacked large numbers of mortal goo. His battle strength compared to ordinary goo immortals still had a great discrepancy. Through a prolonged battle, he had slowly worn down that human strength, phantom to death. Haluan is going to deal with Ma Hongyun to retrieve the luck path true inheritance. Should we intervene in this? Mo Yao's will immediately suggested. This luck path true inheritance was a supreme hidden treasure left behind by Giant Sun Immortal Venerable. Back then, Giant Sun Immortal Venerable used it as part of his journey in becoming the ruler of an era, invincible within the world. This luck path true inheritance held extremely large temptation to any goo master. Fang Yan's gaze slightly flickered, but he did not move, instead turning his sight to look at his left. Not far from him, a whirlwind was forming. Careful, Halulan's fist chi can still condense back, even after being destroyed, Tai Bai Yunsheng warned. Fang Yuan snorted, and with one step, appeared before the hurricane, punching it. Boom! A muffled sound rang out, and the fist chi was scattered again. The first aura was mostly dissipated, but the remaining fist chi still persisted in condensing back. But this quantity was rather small and was not able to condense into form. This strength path killer move. Fang Yuan's expression was heavy. Strength path phantoms were the long-range attacking method of strength path. However, this was the first time Fang Yuan had seen human strength phantoms possessing such spirituality. This seemed to be an innovation of which no records existed in all the Goo Master history Fang Yuan knew of. It could be even called He Lu Lan's Strength Path Phantom. More importantly, this He Lu Lan's Strength Path Phantom could condense back even after being destroyed. This gave the feeling of a never-ending source of harassment. He Lu Lan has certainly not used his full strength. If he can attack with 20 human strength phantoms at the same time, and the remaining fist key can condense again, that power would be terrifying. If he can send out 30 human strength phantoms, then this strength path killer move can absolutely contend with your six-arm heavenly zombie king. Mo Yao's will evaluated with a grave tone. Oh, what killer move is this? Do you have any impressions of it? Fang Yuan asked. Mo Yao's will slowly shook her head. I am not a strength path goo immortal. This killer move also greatly involves soul path and chi path. In addition, it has other pivotal mechanics. It should be a modern innovation as it is greatly different from ancient styles. I am guessing that this is an innovation of the current generation. Six-arm Heavenly Zombie King was researched by Fang Yuan and perfected by Mo Yao. But there were no lack of geniuses in this world. It was not just Fang Yuan alone who could innovate a strength path killer move. Of course, Fang Yuan specialized in blood path in his previous life, and had only cultivated strength path on the side. Treemen flocked one after the other, forming a majestic green wave that attempted to drown Ma Hongyun and Zhao Lianyun. However, Giant Sun's luck path true inheritance was like a giant golden egg that firmly protected the two. Giant Sun's will was concerned about the consequences of his actions. He truly wanted to kill the otherworldly demon Zhao Lianyun, but also wanted to protect this unique existence that was Giant Sun's luck path true inheritance. When he saw He Lu Lan near, he hurriedly transmitted his voice. I will open the passage to true inheritance secluded domain. Help me push the luck path true inheritance into it. He Lu Lan nodded. His whole body shook as he punched out with both his fists. Fist key surged out violently. Boom, boom, boom. Muffled explosions rang out in the air non-stop, the fist key condensing one after another into He Lu Lan's strength path phantoms. 10, 20, 30, 40. Fang Yuan's pupils could not help but shrink upon seeing this. Tai Bai Yunsheng's expression turned pale, revealing intense fear in his eyes. 40 of He Lu Lan's strength path phantoms moved down together and surrounded the luck path, true inheritance in just a moment. A dark crack slowly appeared in the air above the luck path. True inheritance. The crack enlarged till it formed a large and round passage. This deep, dark passage was directly linked to true inheritance secluded domain. Strength path phantoms shouted together before actually lifting Giant Sun's true inheritance slightly. The surrounding treemen also moved their large hands to help. The python-like green vines coiled around together to assist in this. Giant Sun's true inheritance erupted with an intense and dazzling light. The treemen melted like snow. The coiling vines could not even last for 2 breaths before being destroyed completely. Strength path phantoms also continued to crumble, but condensed back a short while after. Haluan stood at the outer periphery. He was like an endless source of strength, striking out with large numbers of strength path phantoms one after another. Under his effort, Giant Sun's true inheritance slowly left the ground. At the same time, the round passage in the air also erupted with an intense force of suction, like a giant mouth attempting to take back Giant Sun's true inheritance into its belly. He can actually form so many strength path phantoms simultaneously. What kind of killer move is this? Tai Bai Yunsheng cried out involuntarily at this astonishing sight. Mo Yao's will also said to Fang Yuan, "Your strength path killer move is specialized for close combat. Haluan's killer move, however, is the exact opposite of yours, specializing in long-range combat. This killer move is equally matched with your 6-arm heavenly zombie king, but in Haluan's hands, the strength it can erupt with far surpasses yours by several times." Haluan was the possessor of great strength, true martial physique of the 10 extreme physiques, and Fang Yuan was not. In the legends, Gu masters, who had great strength, true martial physique, not only had immense strength, their stamina would also never run out. At the same time, their self-recovery ability was also extremely astonishing. Any strength path killer move would erupt with strength that far surpassed their usual strength under the hands of great strength, true martial physique. What should we do now? Tai Bai Yunsheng stood beside Fang Yuan, fixing his gaze at the contest of strength between Haluan and Giant Sun's true inheritance. He continued with a regretful tone, "This is a supreme, true inheritance. Giant Sun's will is taking it back to true inheritance secluded domain. Unfortunately, Haluan is there, so we cannot get a share of the action." His tone contained the meaning of not being able to contend with Haluan. This was not surprising. Tai Bai Yunsheng had a passive nature. A wise man looks after his own hide. He would not take extreme measures unless forced into a corner. Fang Yuan looked at Tai Bai Yunsheng and smiled. "What to do?" he asked and answered himself. "Of course we go to true inheritance secluded domain." Tai Bai Yunsheng was surprised. True inheritance secluded domain? Mo Yao's will shook before reacting, almost slapping her own thigh at the sudden realization. Right, there is no more of Giant Sun's will remaining in true inheritance secluded domain. Those true inheritances have become masterless objects. Previously, these true inheritances contained Giant Sun's will. Thus, one could only obtain the qualifications for the true inheritances by using an owner token. But it was different now. Giant Sun's will had moved away all the sub-wills. Young Wild Will grew soon after in the true inheritances, and they only needed to be manipulated appropriately to refine them easily. But you don't have much time. Giant Sun's main will outside the tower is going to return soon. You will only be able to choose one true inheritance in this time. Mo Yao's will reminded, "Fang Yuan, you must quickly consider which inheritance you are going to choose." Tai Bai Yunsheng also realized this and asked another crucial question. This round is already controlled by Giant Sun's will. How do we enter true inheritance secluded domain? He had not even finished speaking when Fang Yuan took out fixed immortal travel immortal go. Tai Bai Yunsheng had held this immortal go for safekeeping before, thus he was not surprised, but his gaze turned serious as he looked at Fang Yuan. "If I am not wrong, fixed immortal travel can only carry one person, right?" "You are right." Fang Yuan nodded. "So open up your immortal aperture and let me in. I will send you the image of true inheritance secluded domain through thoughts transmission." Tai Bai Yunsheng suddenly realized, "I almost forgot that I am a Gu immortal." The immortal aperture of rank 6 and rank 7. Gu immortals was called a blessed land. Imperial Court blessed land, Lang Ya blessed land, and Hu immortal blessed land were immortal apertures. They had vast space and were akin to a small world. Tai Bai Yunsheng's Tai Bai blessed land was naturally not an exception. Fang Yuan lent fixed immortal travel to Tai Bai Yunsheng and entered his immortal aperture, then sent his thoughts that recorded the image of true inheritance secluded domain. Tai Bai Yunsheng activated fixed immortal travel. Giant Sun's will had no spare energy to stop him and could only let him go to true inheritance secluded domain one step earlier. Within the true inheritance secluded domain was a scene of chaos. The dozens of true inheritances were ruled by new wild wills and were like headless chickens, flying around chaotically. From time to time, they collided with each other, letting out sparks and causing unceasing wear and tear. Mo Yao felt great heartache at this scene. Make your choice quickly. These true inheritances are destroying each other. If the situation gets worse, even if you can get an inheritance, it might have already lost its essence. Fang Yan did not have much time left and could only pick one true inheritance. He had already made a plan for this. He said in a deep voice, "Mo Yao, I need your help. Speak quickly. Point me the location of the final supreme true inheritance." Mo Yao was stumped at Fang Yuan's words. Soon her eyes and mouth opened wide. Her mind was greatly shaken. 88. True Yang Building contained 3 supreme true inheritances. Mo Yao was extremely clear about them, and she had introduced them to Fang Yuan when he had charged in a true inheritance secluded domain before. The first supreme true inheritance was rank 9 wisdom, Gu. The second supreme true inheritance was Giant Sun Immortal Venerable's Luck Path inheritance. The third supreme true inheritance was 88, True Yang Building itself. That is to say, the one who obtains this true inheritance could control 88 True Yang Building. Why did I not think of it? Mo Yao mumbled in a daze. Giant Sun's will had transferred all the sub-wills away. Now is the best time to seize the authority over 88 True Yang Building. Right. Giant Sun's will had neglected this in fulfilling his desire to deal with Zhao Lianyun, thus exposing his greatest flaw and giving us the opportunity to turn around this crisis. Fang Yuan's eyes shone with a sharp brilliance. He looked at his surroundings, the fire of ambition soaring ever so high in his heart. He acutely grasped the flaw in the enemy. Win or lose, it all depended on this move. As long as he could take 88 True Yang Building for himself, he would have the territorial advantage. By that time, even if Giant Sun's main will were to be more formidable, he would only be a despondent dog locked out of the house, standing at the door and barking helplessly.